Good Monday morning, everybody. Motivation Monday. Not a manic Monday for sure. We are going to crush it this week. Hope every one of you out there is already planning to have a great week. I love Monday, so you'll notice I'm up and out the door to the office even sooner than usual because I really like a Monday. Love to get my week started. So, a couple things today. First of all, a housekeeping matter or two. I want to let y'all know that this is the last week that I'm going to be Facebook Living the drive from my personal profile and then sharing it onto my page. Do y'all know the difference between a personal profile and a page? Is considered like a business, even though I have a page just with my name. And we know, right, that's because we all are building a personal brand. Every one of us, right? And our personal brand is simply reputation over time. Oh man, this Monday is not starting as well as I would have liked because we got the old no carbonated drinks sign up at McDonald's. How does that happen? How does that happen? Okay, well, it's going to force me to be healthier today. Actually, it's going to force me to go to another place to get a carbonated drink. So, anyway. So, I'm going to begin starting next week. I'm going to start Facebook Living the drive from my page, Tammy Pack, which you could easily search and find. And then I will post and share it later. So, if you like to watch live, then be sure and go on over and like my page, Tammy Pack. That's the way things are supposed to be done generally, because from your page you can just do a lot more. You can boost, you can target to find people that are looking for the kind of content you're creating. So this will be the last week we're going to do it this way, but it'll still be out there for you guys, and I'll still share it onto the page, my personal profile, at least for a little while. So that's number one. Number two, starting tomorrow, I'm going to attempt to Instagram Live, whether through stories or regular Instagram. I have to look at the video links because it changes constantly. As well, I'm going to do it at the same time. That's why I remember I talked last week about I got a second phone and I've got an apparatus to hold it, and I did find the one that you hold by hand as well. And so we're going to be going live on Instagram and Facebook at the same time because we all have too much to do out there, right? So we have to find ways to make our time go further and make it be in multiple places, repurpose as it were. You may have noticed that, one more housekeeping matter. Have any of you ever made a video and wish you were able to put captions or subtitles on it so that people could read it? We know that it increases views in general because, let's face it, we've all been in a meeting that's a little dull, or we've been lots of places. That guy almost got run over. That was scary. Lots of pedestrian issues in this town. Where we're really not supposed to be listening to a video and you can't have volume. And it's not even you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're at the nail salon getting a pedicure and you know that people don't necessarily want to hear your phone. So that's why people love captions, because if they already know the content, they're familiar, they can read along and know what you're saying. So I found this great company. So I've done it myself, but let me tell you, I would say a 10-minute video, I'm going to spend a minimum of 30 minutes transcribing. And that's transcribing my own voice, and I know what I'm saying already, right? So it is actually complicated, even with the auto-generated captions. With my accent, at least, they are so wrong that you really spend a lot of time on it. So I found this service last night, and I believe it's called Rev dot something. I can get the link for you and put it in the notes. But fantastic. I haven't seen the quality yet, but I'll report back on it. $1 a minute. So they will transcribe whatever type video you have into a .srt file. I think it's a subrip file, which basically they'll caption it for you. Then you upload that to your video for $1 a minute, under 24 hours, and 99% accuracy. So I turned in my first 3 episodes of the drive last night, and I would say within an hour and a half or so, I got back all 3 files. I haven't looked at them yet, so that's what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to upload them. If so, 3 episodes, $28. I mean, what a great deal, and back in an hour and a half. I have virtual assistants as well as people that work for me, but I don't even want to use their time to do that, to transcribe a minute of video for $1. We can use their time in a better way. So anyway, that's just another little tip for you. Now I want to tell a story, because I've always got to have a good old East Texas story, and this one comes directly from my mama. Talking to her this weekend, of course, with Mother's Day, planning a trip to get down there, and she goes, you need to tell the story about the animals and what your friend in college said. So it took me a while to get on the same page again which story she was talking about, but I guess it is a classic. I grew up in East Texas, which you may or may not know is really the South. So we probably have a different set of maybe mores and idioms and ways that we do things there. Particularly with my mom being 89, meaning she had me older, so she's even from a more genteel generation, if anything, where manners are really, really, really important. So, how many of us driving down the street as a kid, or sometimes as an adult, see around Texas a dead deer? Okay, a lot of dead deer, dead animal, a skunk. You smell a skunk, there's something on the side of the road. Well, naturally, we want to gawk at it. Little kids, you know, they're the gawkingest things ever. So they're going to look at it and they're going to go, ew, did you see that? Ew, that was gross. So I was taught very early on not to do that. Because as my mother said, we don't need to point out anything unpleasant. Everyone is aware. So I learned at a young age, we didn't go, ooh, skunk. She goes, everyone can smell the skunk. We don't draw attention to the negative. It doesn't need to be brought up. So I'm riding home from college with a college roommate. We're going to go to her house in San Antonio from Abilene to visit. And we must have passed 7, 8 dead deer. It was just one of those days. I don't know. So we're driving and she goes, ew, did you see that? And ooh, another one. Ooh. We kept going on with the deer. And finally I told her, I said, well, you know, I was taught that we're not really supposed to point that out. Something unpleasant that doesn't need to be called attention to. So thenceforth, those became what we called unmentionables. Because she would say, I'm not supposed to mention that. I was like, no. She was, so the rest of the trip, it was like, I saw another unmentionable. To this day, my mom will still see something on the side of the road, and she's like, oh, unmentionable. We're going to talk about that. So maybe that's just a Southern thing. I don't know, but it makes me laugh now because obviously most people don't live by this theory, and they point out every unpleasant or negative thing along the drive. So just thought I'd share that with you for today to avoid the unnecessary commenting upon the unmentionables. For those of you who joined late, my other things I said at the very beginning were I'm going to start next week Facebook Living from my page, Tammy Pack, and then sharing later on to my profile, at least for a while. So I'm going to start slowly migrating things over there starting next week. And yeah, and I'm going to start Instagram Live, Lord willing, as of tomorrow. I got to research up on it today. Otherwise, we've got a wonderful, busy day. Excited, going to be interviewing a second virtual assistant. And I'll report back tomorrow how all that goes. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.